Oh, it's freezing out this door. Hello. I'm back. I am Tiffany, Empower, Impact, Ignite. I wanted to share something real quick. This random, so ain't no telling like what's gonna be said because I'm kind of going off the top of my head, but do know that some of my message, and I'm aware that some of my messages are very sensitive and very transparent. So in me sharing and expressing certain transparency, if you're not careful, women, know that it's a certain type of men that you need to look out for, be aware of. A lot of times we misconstrue, especially when you're from the hood and around the way. Like, I'm not going to be ashamed of where I'm from. I'm grateful for the wisdom and the knowledge that I do have on today. But it's a certain type of man that you have to watch out for, different types of men. So a lot of people, you think, okay, well, and you can't box everybody into one category. One thing a man don't do. One thing a real man do not do. Real men don't do a lot of arguing. A real man don't do a lot of back and forth, with women. Real men, they don't put their hands on women. But one thing I learned when men, some men, they don't, and they pride themselves on not putting their hand on women. But what I've learned, especially when some brothers and a lot of brothers got a lot of homosexual tendencies, and I'm not talking to those that are homosexual. I'm talking to the ones that are trying to act like they're straight. And what they do is they use this tactic to try to belittle and demean the woman, especially a woman like me. Like, I already know I got 3 kids. At the end of the day, I'm not with none of their fathers, so on the outside looking in, I look like I'm a real vulnerable prey. Okay. And I say that because if I'm not careful, because my initial and the way they paint out black women to be so aggressive, so extra, so this, so that, like a lot of different things, if you're not careful, then you will allow people to suppress you and deprive you of the opportunity even to express and say how you feel about a certain way, because sometimes we are too passive with men that are overly aggressive. A man is by nature in a sense, it's just a way that a man carry himself. But in his gentleness, a man's gentleness is the sign of strength. A man that's overly assertive, overly aggressive, overly rude, trying to continue to like pipe you down, regardless of what type of relationship this is, that's you gotta watch out for men like that. Don't entertain and feed into the ego of that type of man, because there are different insecurities. Y'all, it's super cold out. It's like 30-something degrees, and certain conversations I'm just not going to have or entertain in the house over my children, because my house is a peaceful house. It's a manageable house. But it's certain things that I used to be afraid to say, because I would always worry about what it sound like to the other person. So because I've done the work, I've made sure that I'm thoughtful. I've made sure that I'm considerate. I made sure that I respect myself enough to know that I'm not going to just say anything popping off the mouth, because I could come on here like Byron and all that. But no, that's not me. I'm a very educated and intelligent woman. And not just because I went to school, but I've always been caring and compassion. But I share my messages with transparency, and in me sharing my messages, because a lot of times you can't, or when you share and you share only from one angle or aspect, then you giving a bias or a one-sided connotation on the situation. And a lot of people speak from one side of the situation, and I'm telling you, most people, if I don't share, people think that I'm still married to my first ex-husband. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everything is not for everybody, granted, but you gotta be aware and understand the difference and the tactics that these men be using. And the sad part, it be our own brothers. Like, y'all, we still are like today, many people are celebrating Kwanzaa. It's about unity. I'm big on community. I'm big on unity. I'm big on family. And a lot of people don't have no character, no tact, no integrity, no nothing. Stop going out your way to be at odds with black women, with the counterpart, with the ones that are helping procreate and recreate and still nurture the community. Stop doing that, because a lot of men, they are priding themselves or going out of their way to try to make women feel less than just because of whatever did not work in their situation, and you trying to turn your nose up at another individual, when at the end of the day, your child, whether it's your son or your daughter, could end up making several situations that they putting themselves in several situations that they have to live with, but yet you're trying to turn your nose up and act like you all of that. And men do that, and women, you entertain their ego by feeding into it, and you don't have to address it. You don't have to curse him out, but you don't have to entertain it, because this is not no kindergarten, no first grade. Like, you remember when they used to be like, oh, she trying to fight you or he trying to fight you. Y'all must be like each other. That's toxic. Like, stop that mess. And I'm telling you, you got to pay attention to these behavior patterns, okay? I think I should go to school for behavior science, because I'm just sitting back and looking at a lot of stuff that's just out of pocket. It's out of character. It's tacky. And I don't care what scripture or any Bible verse that you're trying to quote to demean or demise another. Especially, it's nothing worse than when a man try to demean and demise a woman. That is so fruity. That's so fruity. It's such a turnoff. It's so unmanly. Like, stop that stuff, y'all. Like, stop it. Stop trying to do it. Stop trying to be manipulative. Stop trying to tear down the black woman. Like, stop doing it. And black women, no, you do not have to tear down your sisters, the other brothers. You don't have to tear down nobody either. Like, just get the healing that we all need. Like, I'm going to have the conversations, but if you coming over here and if you thinking that because I'm sharing certain things that I'm being released to share, that is any vulnerability as far as falling prey or victim to any of these tactics, or you thinking I'm gonna be scared, if God allows me to have a conversation or come on this live, that I'm not gonna do it. Oh no, I am, because you have to be aware of what is going on, what devices is in operation, and how the enemy will sit and use these people. I'm telling you, I done had several different types that I would normally not attract, but because I've been minding my business, personally developing. Oh, now you want to try to see what type of woman I am? What you mean, what type of woman I am? I don't need you to tell me whether I'm wifey material or not. I know I'm wifey material. That's why I done been married 2 times, okay? I had to repent and tell the Lord, I don't mean what I said a couple years ago, because I said if I needed to be married 10 times, I'll be married 10 times. No, because it ain't nothing funny about the breakup part of it. Like, oh my God, that is just so, it's a lot, you know? It's a lot, but don't try to find validation in other people or through other people. Don't let what didn't work make you feel like you got to accept and settle for certain tactics and certain treatments of other people. I sit back and I study people. I didn't know I was the studious. I sit back and I analyze and I watch how people move. I watch how people do certain things. So I be like, I wonder why they did that. Why they moving that way? Why they doing that? And then I said, oh, okay, I see this person. They moving, they doing it like that. I wonder why. I even sit down and I pay attention to who goes, and I don't do it every day, but some people I watch and they don't never love nothing. I go out my way 99% of the time, unless if Facebook doing the most and won't let me hit that heart button. I'm hearting stuff, because guess what? I got love for everybody. And when you got love for people, when you live in your own truth, you have nothing to prove. It's so cold out this door. I think the heat, you know, when the car is warming up, there's no need for you to have the heat on, because it's going to blow out cold air. But I'm having this conversation. What's going on, y'all? Because women, and I have been that woman, sometimes you're so vulnerable, sometimes you so lost. You trying to figure out, why am I being treated this way? Why I'm being talked to this way? Why I'm being handled this way? Why they coming for me like this? Or every time when I say something, why are they trying to make it seem like I'm just so acting like a woman like me, a woman like me? They be like, oh, you're too strong, you acting, you too rough, you need to tone it down. No, ain't no I need to tone it down. You need to tone it down. Quit trying to disrespect women and trying to make a woman conform and bow to your every need and your insecurities. Let these women be. Let these women grow. And how about y'all start growing up and stop trying to suppress the woman, especially black women. We shouldn't have to be coming out of corners fighting and swinging, trying to prove that we valuable and we worth something. No, but we gotta know your value, know your worth. It's so many conversations that I don't walk from, and I be like, I'm gonna let them live, because I already know that the enemy wants to depict, the image of a black woman. And at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with operating in your strength. And sometimes our strength is simply in our silence and knowing, okay, this is what I'm not going to entertain. So do know when I come live, because I've done the work, okay? And honey, when I talk about some pearls was lost, when I talk about, I used to go upside a Negro head, ain't thinking twice about it, but God, okay? Because I didn't know how to handle the conversations, and I wasn't emotionally intelligent enough to know how to just walk away and let him have it, let him think what he want to think. But if you call my phone, if you message me, and I feel like you're doing something out of order, and I feel like you got something going on, I'm going to ask the question. If I don't like the answer, I'm not going to entertain you. Get to a point, women, that you stand up for yourself. Nobody's going to protect you. Like you. God is our protector, but God begins to give us wisdom. You don't have to be afraid of nothing or nobody. If somebody is disrespecting you and you don't like it, know how to let that person know this ain't going to be accepted over here. Because what's happened, we've normalized accepting a lot of toxic behavior. And guess what? I'm not accepting it because I ain't dishing it out. So therefore, when you step to me, when you come correct. Be respectful, be mindful. I'm not afraid of every word you try to misuse from out of the word of God to try to condescendingly make me feel some certain type of way. It don't work over here, because at this time in my life, I know who I am. I know who I belong to. So be mindful, especially when you're trying to put your mouth on me. I'm not pressed. I'm not hard up. I ain't looking for no man. The ones I had, I didn't go looking for them. Okay, I don't run behind nothing. Okay, anything that is meant for me. And what we have to realize, ladies, that everybody, and this been my problem. Just because they come in your vicinity, just because they pursue you, you gotta know God will give you options, so you can pay attention and see, do this person got character? Can this person hold their own weight? What does this person bring to the table? Is this person adding value to me? Is this person taking me down? Is this person? And guess what? If they not adding or multiplying, then it's not from God. Because one thing about a woman, when a woman get with somebody, a woman multiplies. So that's why it is so important. You got to make sure that you do not entertain the wrong relationships. Be intentional about not wasting it and giving your energy to the wrong things, because some people pride themselves, and it's so sad, and I feel like it's not manly at all. A lot of men, they pride themselves on getting the attention, whether it's dramatic attention from women. And don't think that black women is the only ones that's dramatic. No, but we're the ones that makes the news. We break the news. We all in all the highlights of the dramatic. So at the end of the day, do know that other races do it, and more drama, more tacky than us. Know that. So don't think that you have to live up to what the media try to put out about us. And if that brother or whoever don't know and appreciate your value, then guess what? They not even worth it being entertained. Like, be intentional where we putting this energy. I'm just having a conversation because y'all already know. I said we're gonna have these conversations. But if you can tell, I'm out the door having this conversation, because this conversation will not be had in my house over my children, because you thinking and what's so funny, these are conversations that I will have with my sons, because I'm not gonna condone these tactics. Okay, these are conversations that I do have with my brothers. I have a brother, my brother 30, he'll be 31. I have these conversations with my brother. If he want to misquote and thinking he gonna try to demise the woman around me, I'm gonna nip it in the bud, because that is not That ain't, men don't do that, okay? Little boys do that. Last night I told y'all, like, the goal was supposed to be for y'all to go from boys to men. Yet, because insecurities, different spirits and stuff, it look different on everybody. Some people would think people with my personality and characteristic might, you know, think they does that, and the other, and you don't know. That could be the most down-to-earth, most coolest person, because at the end of the day, you thinking that humbleness means they don't never say a mumbling word. When the person that may not even say a lot could be the most arrogant, nastiest person in the room, okay? So let's like stop thinking what you think look like what it is, but knowing how to just sometimes, and I'm telling you, when you sit back, ladies, and just watch, I'm telling you, when you watch what you see, sometimes, and a lot of times, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he trying to start with me? Is he trying to argue with me? Is this a man? I thought this was a man. I thought this was a man. I thought wrong. Many of us don't even know what no man is. And then many of us ain't even seen no example of no man. That's why we let, and I didn't know. I seen pieces and snippets of, you know, what a woman is or what a wife maybe is or whatever like that. But don't allow your insecurities or whatever you done been through, and don't even share all of your vulnerable moments. I'm sharing stuff that's so old. Man, I can't nobody use, you can't use my testimony against me at the end of the day. And you definitely can't get me on the phone and thinking you gonna make me feel like, oh, I deserve to be talking to somebody like you. Like, who are you? It's so many women that feel less than. Like, a man is not, the man for you is not gonna try to, like, diminish you, like, make you feel little. You know what I'm saying? Even in conversation, like, so many men be trying to, oh yeah, I'm gonna make her feel like she's nothing. No man don't do that. That ain't manly. That's, well, that's questionable. Men don't do that. It is time for us to be intentional about building up our community. Be intentional. Be intentional. When you see certain characteristics that's like flawed, I'm telling you, pay attention. Don't entertain that stuff. And I don't know about nobody else, but I've already let a lot of y'all know. And I'll let you slide or whatever with the tip. But my name is Tiffany. And I'm not nobody boo. I mean, I'll be booed. You know, we be saying boo like with our homegirls and stuff like that. But as far as, let me tell you, males, keep it straight business with me. And if I don't like what you say, and this is what we got to do too, ladies. When a man call you something that makes you feel uncomfortable, regardless of whatever it is, don't keep letting that slide. Because sometimes we let things slide, and you let them just slide too long, and then they get comfortable. No, if you're trying to call me a name of endearment and we're not in the endearment space, I don't want you to call me that. I want you to call me my name. And if he don't respect you enough, he don't respect you enough to, you know, respect your mind, then, you know, that's character. Because respect is the basis of any relationship. It doesn't matter whether it's going to be a business relationship. It doesn't matter if it's going to be an intimate relationship. If a person does not respect you in that form, it don't matter what they used to. Listen, speak up for yourself when needed, and don't take everything as rejection. Don't take everything as, oh, she trying to be nasty, or she trying to be snooty, or she trying to have an attitude. You don't have to keep allowing people to do certain things to you. And if you listen to my message earlier, when you've dealt with certain things and you feel a certain type of way, then you easily allow and accept anything. I'm just at a place where I'm not accepting anything, but neither am I dishing out anything. I treat people with the respect that I want. If I do anything that is disrespectful or rude or violate somebody's personal space, I am mature enough to understand and comprehend that this person did not like what I did, even though this person might have loved when I did that. Out of respect, I'm going to respect this person's wishes, and I'm going to not do that. That's when you're in a healthy place in life. Like, that's why I'm on here. Honestly, it's 32 degrees. I didn't have to share this conversation, but these are certain things that we need to look out for, because it is sickening for a man to always be combative with a female. That is not manly. That is not manly. And we gonna have a conversation that you're not gonna get on Sunday morning. What's going on, Prophet? How you doing? Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all are having a happy holidays. But it's so many toxic behaviors and relationships, and unfortunately, the pastors, the bishops, everybody can't address this on Sunday morning. So guess what? We gonna have these conversations, and I'm speaking from the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding that God has given me. I'm speaking from what is happening from my personal, over here in my personal space. I'm not giving names. I'm not putting on screenshots, because it's not about being messy. I think that it's many workshops that need to go on so men can know how to act like men and women can know how to act like women, because there has been a mix-up in the roles. You don't know how to act and behave as such, and therefore we continue to have broken relationships, and you thinking that the pastors are able to fix and mend these pieces and these families, but God is able to do it. God is able to heal, set free, and deliver, but he's raising up teachers. He's raising up coaches. He's raising up counselors. He's raising up people to help you. But don't come on my page, in my inbox, in my text, because I use all of this stuff for business, and I'm about my Father's business. But I told you, I don't come on here just to market. I come to minister. I will preach the gospel in every opportunity I can. Yes, I just happen to be a businesswoman, but God knows it's time for us to learn. It's time for us to grow. It's time for us to operate with respect. If you are married, stay out of my inbox. I will not tolerate that mess, okay? If you're in a relationship, if you're in an entanglement, if you're in anything that is not gonna add value to the unit, or what we call family, stay out of my inbox. Now, if you about business, if you want to do something that can uplift and upbuild our community, if I can help you with your child, help you connect you with some fathers, if you're a father and you trying to get connected, because I will quickly connect you, because I'm connected to some brothers that help fathers be fathers, okay? Because I'm not trying to help you be a father, okay? I know a lot of great brothers, that are a lot of great fathers, a lot of great organizations, the ministers, visionaries that can help. But all of that sidelining, all of that mixed reading, all that mix up, listen, when you really be intentional, it's no gray areas. It's just no gray areas. So I don't want it to be any blurred lines over here. It's just not gonna happen. I'm telling you. So don't misconstrue my transparency for a level of vulnerability or foolishness, because I'm just not going to tolerate it. And I'm not afraid to tell you what I'm not going to tolerate. And you will find out that I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm just not. But ladies, be intentional. And in order to see better, because the blind mess around, lead the blind, you got to stop, slow down, and get some sight. That's why we got to be reclaiming our pearls. Reclaim your pearls. God gives sight to the blind. If you can't see and you keep trying to figure out what's all of the, I don't even like to be with stuff that's keep disturbing my spirit. I'm telling you, stuff that's disturbance, man, pay attention to that stuff. But it's a lot of stuff you got to pay attention to and watch out for, because the enemy don't play fair. And if you haven't noticed, he's trying to have us at odds against the opposite sex. He wants you to be at odds with your sisters, women at odds against each other, the brothers at odds against each other. The enemy just like confusion, division, and he's just a thief. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's some work that needs to be done. It's some conversations that need to be had. And I've had conversations, and I've called a lot of people out on some stuff. Some people we end up being great associates or whatnot. You know, respect is given. You know, after they see that, you know, don't come over here with that. I done plead the blood and all kind of stuff over certain people. And I'm telling you, this conversation, I could have brought my other phone out here and had this conversation on IG, because on social media, it's a different level of trolling. And I'm telling you, as a single mom, I had this man a few months ago try to disrespect me. Oh, he tried to disrespect me and tried to come for my whole life. And I respectfully put him in his place, and I definitely took it to the Lord, you know. And since then, no, that man has apologized and has not disrespected me since. And I don't know what race he is, but I haven't had a problem since, because it's another level of trolling, especially when you're having conversations that can be sensitive, you know, as far as relationships and just you know, different. When I say sex is like male or female and stuff like that, people can be very easily offended and stuff like that. So I had to do the work. I'm just telling you, I had to do the work to make sure that I'm able to deliver in a way that is done in love, you know, so that it can be receptive, because people don't care how much you know until they really know how much you care. And I love people. I care about people. I have a heart for people, and I like to talk. I love to talk. I think that so much healing comes when you have the conversation with the intent to have a resolve. So much can come from out of that, you know, when you can just hear a person's heart, you know, because out of the mouth flows the issues of the heart. And I believe that when you're able to listen to a person's heart, when you're able to listen to a person's heart, that is an amazing thing. That speaks volume, especially when people don't really get hurt. A lot of people are fighting to be heard. But listen, brothers, we are not your enemies, okay? We are not your enemy. The black woman is not your enemy. And I'm going to tell the women for the brothers, because the brothers got something to say too. What about, okay, listen, women, they're not the enemies. Don't get it twisted because I'm sharing what I'm sharing. I know they're not my technical enemy. So that is why we have to do the work. We have to do the work. Yes, I love to talk. I love to talk, and I love to listen too. That's why a lot of people come to me and they talk to me for hours. They talk to me for hours. I was like, thank you so much, Queen. Yeah, I love to talk. Talking is one of my strengths. That's why I had to begin to allow God to groom me in my mouth, so that way the words out of my mouth, and the meditation of my heart could be accepted in the sight of God. Because I didn't understand how sharp my words were, and I'm not one that would just, I don't curse just like, I don't have like hundreds and thousands of curse words coming out of my mouth. I can literally not say a cuss word, but my words are so sharp. This is me learning myself. My words are so sharp. They cut so deep because of the call. It's just, I can't help it. And that's why I was like, oh, I didn't know that I hurt your feelings. I'm like, how did I hurt your feelings? And I had somebody tell me like, girl, I feel like you cussed me out and you ain't even say no curse words. And I'm like, oh. So I was like, you know, I began to ask God to help me with my words, you know, season my words with grace. Because when I speak, people listen. This is what I know for a fact. People listen. Haters listen. Enemies, they listen. Call me for prayer, because guess what? They listen. But when you begin to study yourself and you know what type of authority and power God has given you, don't be afraid to use it, but don't misuse it. Men, I feel like men is nothing like, I had to talk with my son, and I was letting him know, because his love language is quality time, and I was letting my sons know, and I always let them know, because they have a mom that has a mouth on her. I got a mouth on her, but you don't have to be intimidated by your mom's mouth, and my mouth is not to drown out your sound and your mouth, because it's something about when a man that knows who he is, when he speak, even if he's of a few words, do know we listen. We're waiting to hear. Okay, women are waiting to hear. Are we listening? But make sure you give us something to listen to, because a lot of us are trying to figure out why we're not getting anyway, because the blind leading the blind, and so many men, they don't got visions. They trying to bark and feel like a man, but really you ain't even been talking to the Lord. You ain't been spending no time with God, because you want to be entertaining this woman, that woman, that woman, that woman, depleting yourself. You ain't been spending time with God, because God ain't gonna tell you demise and demean his daughters. Vice versa. Daughters, you ain't been spending no time with God. God ain't gonna tell you to demise and demean his sons. Come on now. Come on now. So we got to get to a place where we're sensitive enough to hear what's happening, what's going on, have the conversations. And again, I have 3 sons. I have 3 sons. How can I love my sons and hate my brothers? You know what I'm saying? I have a brother. How can I love my brother and hate my sons, or vice versa? At the end of the day, we all have family, and we all have to be held accountable. We all have areas that we need to grow in, and I don't have no points to prove to nobody, okay? I live a life that is mainly everyday night to please God, you know. So we're gonna have these conversations because they're needed. In order for us to grow as a community, have the conversation, know where you stand at in the conversation, and be okay with being involved in the conversation, because so many men feel like their voice don't matter. So many men feel like they don't matter, and that's a dangerous place to be, because of the absence of the voice of the man. And I can go on and on. That's why it's so exciting to me, because this is stuff that I've witnessed and I've lived through. Because of the absence of that voice, the enemy can play on that so many different ways. But I just want y'all to know, when I come on here, it's to Empower, Impact, Ignite. Your voice matter. Don't abuse your powers, men. Don't try to be abusive, neither women. Ask God to season your words with grace. Be intentional about what you have to say. You don't have to yell, fuss, fight, cuss. You ain't got to knock nobody out. You ain't got to take that grit pen and go upside nobody's head. Because I'm telling you, one of my sisters, who is my accountability partner, what I learned and what I love about just being around other people, she said, girl, when people do stuff to me, they ain't got to work, or they just ain't gonna see me again. And some people, they care so much, and we don't know how to really, we haven't been, raised with that level of self-discipline and self-control to where we just know how to walk away from certain situations. So we be just fighting fighting to keep it, just fighting, child. But some people, they walk away, but we need that even balance. Like, yeah, I walk away, but I may be willing to have the conversation, but everything may not be entitled to a conversation at the time, depending on the nature of the situation. But just be okay with being open to, having other perspectives, gaining more insight, because all the time our way is not naturally the right way, and some of us have so many toxic traits, and it done been going on for so long, and we haven't been held accountable. Now we're dealing with so much dysfunction, and we really need to get a hold on it, in the Black community. So I just share from a place of love. I hope y'all are having a great Saturday. I hope y'all are, being intentional about reclaiming your pearls. Even if it's for the one, I don't know, sometimes I make y'all laugh, sometimes y'all might cry. Some people be like, they don't know whether to cry, shout, sing, what, dance. Whatever these messages make you do know that I share them in meanings to, make an impact, make a difference. Because at the end of the day, I know that God wants better from us, and I was one that was just waiting to, be taught, and know that I wasn't alone, know that I wasn't tripping, know that somebody else understood what it was. And especially when you are not in a place where you really can understand God for the most part, for yourself in your private life, you need someone that can, kind of relate to you, and you can have that conversation with, and you can know that, okay, I need to do better, I want to do better, but I don't have to at the same time accept this or that. That's really why I'm coming on here to share these messages, because I have a message to share. I believe that what I'm saying, it is reaching and it's getting out to others, and others are definitely making changes and improving improvement for the glory of God. So blessings to you all. I am Tiffany. Empower, impact, ignite. Happy holidays. I love y'all. Reclaim your pearls. If you haven't connected, this is what we about over there. Reclaim your pearls. Go there. And what about the black man? Because we already know. Y'all need to know that somebody care and love y'all too. So it is what it is.